Our next speaker is a professor of sociology and criminal justice at the University of Delaware, and in addition to research, administrative duties, advisory duties, he also teaches a little bit. He has been involved with DTI and Yale for a long time. He has been a seminar leader on the local level 3 different times, and I have come to depend upon him to get his opinions about things as problems arise as DTI moves forward. But obviously I don't need to talk to him very much because problems never arise. Right, Eric?
That's correct.
Please welcome Eric Ries.
Thank you. So what I'd like to talk about today is really why University of Delaware faculty get involved in DTI and what faculty get out of it, quite frankly. In terms of why we get involved, I think, as educators, we're all interested in the success of public education. Many of us are products of public schools. Many of us have or had children attending Delaware public schools. Many of us are aware of the troubled history of public education in Delaware, dating back at least to the state's role as a litigant in the Brown versus Board of Education case. So we want to do something about public education. We're interested in seeing it improve and succeed, but we're not always sure why. The Delaware Teachers Institute provides a concrete way for us to be involved in the success of public education in Delaware. Also, the Institute model really, I think, appeals to us as academics because of its focus on content knowledge and its research focus. The curriculum units that our fellows produce are very informed, very elaborate. They do they make intensive use of the library resources at the University of Delaware to create units that really demonstrate and organize and analyze what is the foundational knowledge that they need to teach the topic that they're constructing for their unit. So the model fits faculty priorities. It allows us to get involved in the issues of public education that excite us all. Also, there really is a more utilitarian motive, I think, and certainly what we realize is that in order for many of the initiatives of Delaware Will Shine, many of the initiatives of the commitment to Delawareans to succeed, we're going to need to recruit students from the high-need schools in Delaware. That's going to be particularly important as we try to diversify our student body. And so for us as faculty to have access to teachers in the system, to be able to talk to them about what our expectations are for our students as they enter college, to let them know what they'll need to be college ready, to not just be admitted to college, but to succeed in college is an important responsibility and a tremendous opportunity. So what do we get out of participating in the Delaware Teachers Institute? Well, one of the things is variety. Delaware is a very traditional campus, residential campus, and so when I'm in a seminar for DTI, I have students who are more mature, who have a variety of life experiences. As Jonathan Holloway wrote in one of the articles I was reading last night, you actually have people in your seminar room who lived through the Cold War. We don't have that in our traditional classrooms. It also helps us deepen and broaden our research. Let me give you an example. A couple of years ago, I was doing a seminar on the civil rights movement. Now, my area of research is civil rights litigation, but the seminar was much more broadly framed than that. And in the course of preparing for that seminar and leading that seminar, I was reminded of literature I had forgotten of. I discovered literature I didn't know was out there that I was able to use and incorporate into my research that really gave it a broader focus and a more meaningful frame, I think. It helps me in my teaching. I am in a room with experts in pedagogy every week, people who have decades of experience, and new graduates who are familiar with the cutting-edge research on the theory and practice of how to get students engaged. I learn a lot about teaching from being involved in DTI. Finally, it's just a vicarious pleasure to watch teacher leaders grow and develop. When I think of people like April Higgins and Michelle Hillbeck, to name just a couple who were once fledgling DTI members and are now mentors to teachers, not just locally but nationally through their involvement in this summer institute. It's a pleasure to have been at least a small part of their professional development. So I'm someone who takes very seriously all three roles of a faculty member: teaching, research, and service. By far, the Delaware Teachers Institute is the most involved in the deepest aspect of my service and public outreach commitments, and it is also the service aspect that most informs my teaching and research. It helps me be a more complete scholar, and most of my colleagues who are involved in DTI agree. Thank you very much.